Started. Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Coach Rqtmi. It's a pleasure having you guys on this call this morning, and today promises to be mind-blowing. I would also want to use this opportunity to appreciate our coaches, Coach Moore and Coach Salsi, for the wonderful opportunity they've given to me once more to present to you the Rqtmi Excel sheet template. And I also want to acknowledge our coaches, some of our coaches that are here, Coach Fahad, Coach King, Coach Dynamics, and every other coaches that are here. It's a privilege having you guys here once more. So I want you guys to pay attention. And if this is your first time of attending this section, I need a 111 on the chat, please. If this is your first time of attending this very section, I need a 111 on the chat, as this will enable me to break it down for you to the simplest points, no matter how new you are to this space. Welcome, King Abdullahi. Welcome, King Ahmad. You're welcome. Kindly pay attention. Kindly pay attention. You'll be getting value from this section. So I am going to proceed in a short while right now. So kindly pay attention. For those who are new on this call, kindly pay attention, please. So we are going to be treating an important topic, and we do this every Tuesday. Every Tuesday, we do this every Tuesday. If you can hear me, I need a 222 on the chat. If you can hear me, I need a 222 on the chat. If you can hear me, I need a 222 on the chat. And if you can see my screen also, I need a 333 on the chat. If you can see my screen, I need a 333 on the chat. Okay, perfect. So I will proceed at the moment right now. So today we are talking about the Royalq T-Motion International settings, which is known as Rqtmi settings. For those who are new on this call, in the business of Royalq, we have different teams under Royalq. And today you are with Rqtmi, which is known as the Royalq T-Motion International. So it will interest you to know that every team has their own style of trading, as well as they have their own style of settings or configuration they give to the robots. So this is our own style of settings, and we are introducing you to these settings. Kindly pay attention as I explain. Now, this is a dashboard of the Royalq settings. Now, whatever command, we've told you that the robot is a semi-automated robot for you to have control and ownership. So the control and ownership is in this command or these settings you are going to give to your robot. So this is the dashboard of the Excel sheet template, where you have the configuration or the parameters that you are going to compute inside your robot or the Royalq bot per se. Now, in this dashboard, it comprises of what we call Rqtmi Magic 1 down to Magic 8. Now, we are only going to be talking about Magic 1, 3, and Magic 5. That is what we are going to be talking about today. Magic 1, Magic 3, and Magic 5. So you might want to ask, why are we talking about these magics alone? Why are we not concentrating on Magic 2, 4, and 5? It will interest you to know that the crypto market has 2 cycles. And each of these cycles lasts for 4 years, average of 4 years, which is the bull season and the bear season. So like most of you know, in the bull season, the prices of the cryptocurrency coin goes up, while in the bear season, the prices comes down. So because we are in the bull season, we have a settings we use for the bull season, which is magic 1, 3, 5. And the other settings you have seen are settings we are going to be using for the bear season. So that is why we tell you we have what works both in the bull and in the bear season. So you have nothing to worry about. All you need to do is to pay attention and understand how we do what we do in this Rqtmi Motion International. So listen carefully. Now, for Rqtmi Magic 1, it says it covers for 30% dip. What does that mean? 30% dip. Then for Magic 3, says it covers for 25% dip. And Magic 5 covers for 50% dip. Now, talking about Magic 1, each of these magic, for you to make use of each of these magic, you have a minimum amount you must have as your capital for you to use any of this magic. And let's talk about it. For Magic 1, you must have a minimum of $320. For Magic 2, you must for Magic 3, you must have a minimum of $100. While for Magic 5, you must have a minimum of $520. So what does it mean when you say covers for 30% dip? Now, the Royalq operates in a way that even when the market is down, it allows you to make profit downtrend, even when the market is down. So let's assume this is a coin we are trading, P for Pepe, a name of a coin. And we use Magic 1, which is minimum of 320. So we are using a capital of 320. And after it picks our first buying amount, which is $20 out of the 320, as the price starts going down, it starts using the 320 to buy across different levels, which I'm going to explain properly. Now, by the time it got to this level, the entire 320 have been exhausted or has been exhausted across these different levels. At this point, your money has been exhausted. You are now on what we call floating loss. Floating loss is not a real loss. Take note of that. So at that point, you need to wait patiently. As the price starts going up, it starts selling across these different levels and start giving you profit bit by bit until it gets to this point and it sells everything and closes that trade. If you are using $100, let's assume you are trading a coin known as ADA with your $100. What the robot does is it chooses your $100 to buy across different levels, let's say 7 different levels. At this point, what it means is that as it's buying across these different levels, the price of the coin or the market is going down. So the robot takes advantage in the dip or the drop in the price of the market to buy across different levels for you. At that point, it buys to the 7th level. It means your $100 has been exhausted across these margins. We call it margins or levels. All you need to do, there's no need for you to panic. As the price is going up, it starts selling across this different level and start giving you your profit until it gets to this point and sells and close the entire trade. That is what it means by covers for 25% dip. So when it has dipped to this level, it means that coin has dipped by minus 25%. When this has dipped to this level, it means it has dipped by minus 30%. Similarly, for that of Magic 5 settings. For Magic 5 setting, we say minimum of 520. And let's assume your 520 has been spread across these levels. And at this point, the entire 520 has been exhausted across these levels. All you need to do at that point, you will say you are on a floating loss of minus 50%, meaning it has dipped by minus 50%. You need to just exercise patience. As the price starts going up, it starts selling across these different levels and start giving you your profit until it gets to this point and closes the trade and sells the entire thing. So what I just summarized here, I am going to explain it in totality for you. So in our last section, we talked about Magic 5 and how to use Magic 5. Because of time, I can't go through the Magic 5, Magic 3, Magic 1 at the same time in a day. So I do it bit by bit. So I'm going to talk about Magic 3, especially for those people who are just coming on board, who do not have enough capital, who is starting with $100. Pay attention. So for Magic 3, is minimum of $100, meaning after you have activated your boat with 120, you have put your gas fee of $20. What you are left with is your $100 to start up your business. So you need Magic 3 for someone who is using a minimum of $100. You need Magic 3, please. So pay attention carefully. Pay attention carefully. I'm going to Magic 3. This is Magic 3. Take note of that. This is Magic 3. Now, Magic 3 says minimum capital that you need to use Magic 3 is $100. King Eche, please stop writing on the screen. You are distracting me. You can as well leave your screen alone and just listen, please. So Rqtmi Magic 3 says minimum capital of $100. Now, in the first place, this is a configuration you will compute into the boat, and based on this configuration, the boat will use to trade for you. So we want to explain what each of these parameters means so you understand. Now, on your boat settings, the strategy settings, you are going to see risk type. So anything you see on your Excel sheet template, that is what you are going to compute into your Royalq boat. Now, for instance, risk type is radical. What does it mean, radical? Because the crypto market moves to and fro in an irregular pattern like this. So you want your boat to be very aggressive, to move in a radical way based on according to the way the market moves and take advantage to make profit for you. You don't want it to be on conservative mode, and you don't want it to be on steady mode. You want it to be rugged, follow the pattern of the market and take advantage and make your profit and do your buying and selling for you. So always ensure that your risk type is on radical. For the remark is the capital you want to use. So for Magic 3, if you have $100, between $100 down to 319, you can use 100 a Magic 3 settings. Take note of that. But once you have 320, you can decide to use Magic 1, which is minimum of 320. However, what we do here, we try as much as possible to do what we know as risk management. So if you have 320 as your trading capital and you're just coming on board, we are not going to allow you to use this 320 to trade Magic 1 using just one coin. We are going to tell you to do risk management, and your risk management requires you to divide this by 3. I think you will get 108 on each coin, 108 on each coin. So instead of you using 320 to trade one coin, now you're going to use this 320 to trade 3 different coins: coin A, coin B, coin C. So the idea is not for you to put your eggs in only one basket. Now you have diversified your portfolio. So if coin A is taking time to sell, coin B will be faster to deliver, and coin C will be faster to deliver. And when you pick new coin, maybe coin D and coin E, by the time coin D and E delivers, coin A that was taking time would have sold. So that is the idea of risk management. That is the idea of risk management. And we said that if you are trading 3 coins at a time, if you are a very patient person, put one on default settings and put 2 on both tactics. Category 1 or category 2. No, category 1. For Magic 3, you can only use category 1. Then if you are not a very patient person, you put 2 on default settings and put 1 on boot tactics. Follow simple instruction. We have reason why we are telling you that. Please take note of that. So having said that, let's assume that we are using our capital after activating your robot and putting your gas fee. You have $100 left as capital, $108 left as capital to trade. All you need to do is watch here. You will see that when your capital was $100, take note of this. Take note of the figures and see now that I have a capital of 108. See what is going to happen. All I need to do, I'll come to the remark and edit it. I will change the $100 to 108 and see what happens to this figure here. So once I change it, you see that it gives me a parameters that sum up to 108. So what it tells me is that I am using a capital of 108 and it's giving me a settings for 108. So if I want to use $100, I'm using these settings. This settings is not for $100. It means I am over trading more than what I have. I'm using a setting that is more than what I have. So always ensure that you put the required capital you have here to start up your business. But I will explain about some things later. So that is that. Let's assume we are using 108. So that is how to work on your remark. Your remark refers to the capital you want to use for Magic 3, which is minimum of $100. Take note of that. The next thing here is first buying amount, which is 15. Take note of that. Now, let's assume I have 108 and I want to go to the market, 108, I want to visit the market, and I have a friend in the market, shop A, and I have other shops I want to visit from shop 1 to shop 7. And what I want to buy in the market is a product known as banana. Banana is a physical product and it's a name of a coin, a cryptocurrency coin. So you guys can relate. Now, I have 108 in my hand I want to take to the market. But getting to the market, before I left my house for the market, I have a friend that sells banana. And each time I go to that market, I must, based on sentiment, patronize that my friend. But I have a fixed amount in my mind I'm willing to spend in that my friend's shop each time I visit that shop. That fixed amount, I'm not going to spend more and I'm not going to spend less. No matter what that friend tells me about the quality of the banana or hype of the banana, I am not going to spend more than $15. So this $15 I have in mind to spend is fixed. It is what is referred to as first buying amount. So the $15 is the first amount I am going to spend in that my friend's shop, which I must spend, which I'm willing to spend. I'm not going to spend more than that. So that first amount is known as first buying amount. So it refers to the first amount the robot is going to take from the 108 that you want to use to trade that particular coin banana. So that is the idea of first buying amount. Open position double, we say do not enable. Now, if you enable it, what is the consequence? What is the negative impact? Now, it is once you enable it, is going back to my friend shop now. I'm willing to spend $15. So peradventure, I came to my friend shop now. Let's say out of the 108, I've spent $15. What is left? Let me do a little calculation here. 108 minus $15. I'm left with $93. $93. And this $93, I want to use it to go through these 7 shops to buy banana. To buy banana. Let me make Coach Fad. I'm making you a co-host. Coach King, I'm making you a co-host. Who else is here again? Okay, I think that's enough. So sorry about that. Someone was distracting me. So this $93 is what I want to use to go through these 7 shops. So when I came to my friend's shop, he or she had to wine my mumu button, convince me, tell me how quality this banana is, that if I don't buy it right now, it's going to be scarce, I'm not going to see this quality again, and everything like blah, 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 blah. Eventually, she was able to convince me. So instead of me using $15, I now have to bring out another $15 from this $93 and add to this $15, total of $30 I now used in a shop. So instead of the robot to use first buying amount 50, is now using $30 because you open the position double, because you want my mumu button. That is what it means. Now, the effect, the negative effect is that now that I have removed extra $15 from this $93, whatever is left here, who is this Joseph Nelson that is not muting himself? Coach Fahad, please take care of that Joseph Nelson. So right now, okay, right now it's going to take $30. Now I will not have sufficient money left to go through these 7 shops. So the implication of opening position double is once you open the position double, instead of your robot to use your first buy as 15, it's going to double it and use it as 30. Take $30 from your 108. So the implication is that you will not have sufficient money to take you through these 7 shops, and you don't want that. That is why your open position double, you ensure you don't enable it. Now, AI margin calls do not enable. Now, remember that this is a semi-automated robot for you to have control and ownership over what it does. And what is the control and the ownership? It is these settings, this configuration you are giving to it. So if you are telling the robot, you are giving it a command or a condition, and you now go and enable the AI margin call, you are telling the robot, go against my settings, begin to buy based on your discretion, sell based on your discretion, go against all these settings and command I'm going to give to you, which we don't want that. So your AI margin call should always be disabled. Margin call limits. Margin call limit refers to the 7 shops you are going to visit, which is this. So for Magic 3, 7 shop, which is this shop 1 to 7, different from my friend's shop. Take note of this, please. It's different from my friend's shop. My friend's shop refers to the first buying amount. Then the magical limit refers to the 7 shops. So I'm using shops so that you can relate with what I'm saying. Then the next online is, I've talked about this. Now the next one is all position take profit ratio, which is 3%, which I'm going to talk about that later. Then I'll remind me of this opposition take profit ratio. Then for opposition take profit callback, this is a very important feature that Royalq has that you cannot see in any exchange. So for those of you who are here, for those of you who have been able or had the opportunity to trade on Binance, Bybit, and the rest, and you want to know what is the unique difference between, because we've had some persons who say it's the same thing, what Royalq is doing is what we can do on Binance. But let me prove to you that there is a feature that Royalq has that you cannot see in any of those exchanges. And if I am wrong, you can prove me wrong. So the opposition take profit callback 0.01. How does it work? So this is how this works, and pay attention. Now, I want to buy banana, B for banana, at the price of $5. That is my entering price I want to enter. And I want to sell when the price gets to $10. And you understand that the crypto market moves up to till it gets to its target. So between $5 to $10 is a profit of $5 I want to make on my capital. So I entered here and it was going like this, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And suddenly there was a sudden spike like this. So I was supposed to come out here to get my $5 profit alongside with my capital. But because of this sudden spike, the robots, the Royalq bot, would not release my profit and my capital. Why? Because of this sudden spike, right? It held it and is waiting for this sudden spike to return by this 0.01 that you are seeing. Let's say a return by 0.01. This was a return by 0.01. So at this level is a price of $12. Now, between this $10 and $12, you will agree that there is a $2 profit. So since there was a sudden spike and the robot could not release my $5 profit because of this sudden spike, and yet the robot was waiting for a return of 0.01. So when it did a return of 0.01, we discovered that there's another $2 extra profit. So what the robot is going to do is going to release this $2 alongside with this $5, making it total of $7 that is going to make for you, taking advantage on this sudden spike. So you are going to make more profits. Tell me if you can see these futures in your exchange, please. So for those of you who are saying that it is the same thing that is happening in Binance that is happening here, this is one of the futures. Take note of it, please. I believe this is clearly explained and this is clearly understood. So let's move to the next thing online. We have the buy-in callback. The buy-in callback also makes use of the same principle as the all position take profit callback. But for all position take profit callback, it helps us when we want to make profit. But for buy-in callback, it helps us when we want to buy cheaper. Now, remember, we trade on the spot market. And what we simply do on the spot market is to buy low and sell high. So let's assume we go to a banana again, and the price of banana at that point is $10. And I want to buy banana at $5. And this is where the price is. And I've set my price. That robot, as soon as the price drops to this $5, pick my first buying amount, which is 15, and start trading for me. So I've programmed it that way. and the price started going up, down, up, down, up, down, and there was sudden spike. Now, because of this sudden spike, the robot is not going to peak. It's not going to buy at this $5. Rather, it is going to wait for this sudden spike to return by 0.01. And let's assume that 0.01 is, this line is at 4.5. So at this point, the robot is going to buy at this $4.5 at this price, as against this price you program it to buy, thereby buying more cheaper for you. Tell me if you can see this in any of these exchanges that we are using. So if you want to go and trade manually yourself, you now see the advantage of what Royalq has for you. So fast forward, we now have what is called distributed take profit allocation from 5th call to the 7th call. Take note of this, from 5th call to the 7th call. Now, I'm going to explain opposition take profit ratio alongside with distributed take profit allocation from 5th call to the 7th call the same time. Please, the same time. Take note of that. Then, having said that, let's move to the next thing. The next one is sub position take profit callback. Now, from the word opposition take profit callback and sub position take profit, it tells you that this is referring to the same thing. But from the word sub is talking about something under, and all is talking about something on top. So what is that thing that is under and what is that thing that is on top? So if you understand the principle I just explained about opposition take profit, it is the same principle of sub-position take profit, but the difference is where does it occur? Now, remember I have my friend shop. From my friend shop to the first shop, second shop, third shop, to the fourth shop, you experience this opposition take profit callback. That is where you experience it. But when it gets to the 5th shop, the 6th shop, and the 7th shop, this sub position take profit, this is where it is, this place you are going to experience that. So take note of that. That is the difference between sub position take profit callback and opposition take profit callback. But they both work. They both have the same principles that they are built on. Let me put it that way. So having said that, the next online is strategy period, which is known as one shot. Now, for the strategy period, we have what is called one shot, and we have what is called circle. Circle is referred to as autopilot. Now, there are some persons that will tell us, if you said this bot is a AI, artificial intelligence robot, why do I need to do something? Why do I need to be there? Fine. It is a semi-automated robot. It is an artificial intelligence robot. There are two types. We have automated, fully automated, and we have semi-automated. Now, you can decide what you want to use your Royalq for, either semi-automated or fully automated. But however, Circle is known as autopilot, and I'm going to explain Circle for you. But for you to make use of Circle is for people who do not have time at all, based on the nature of your work, based on the nature of your business, whatever you don't have time. But if you don't have time, there's something you should have. You should have capital. You should have capital from like $7,000. You should have from like, I think the list is 3,000 something. I've forgotten the actual figure, but 3,700 something, $7,000, 13,000, 50,000, 20,000, depending on whatever this thing you have. But you should have good capital. Now, if you have, for instance, like 13,000 plus, we are going to take 25 different coins from those 25 volatile coins. For those who are already members, we have the 25 volatile coins. For new members, these coins have been proven to have their own blockchain and they have strong fundamental use cases. So stick to that coins that we have given to you. So you take the 25 volatile coins and you inject money into it. You divide your 13,000 plus by 25. And let's say it gives you 5520. So if it gives you like 5520, you're going to be using magic 5 on it. So on each of the 25 coins, you are going to 25 coins thereabout. You are going to place 5520 on each of these 25 coins and put it on autopilot. Just take 2%. Don't take more than 2%. More than 2%. More than 2%. Then put it on autopilot. As you put it on autopilot, this bot will just continue minting money for you. Now, what it means is that on Circle, if this bot sells this coin, automatically it will go and pick it again. If it sells coin B, automatically it will go and pick it again. Sell coin C, automatically it will go and pick it again. So because you are trading like 25 coins, even if 1 or 2 of the coins are taking time to sell, you will not feel it because you are trading so many coins and money is dropping to 2%. So since you have put it on automation, it means you cannot change this 2%. The only time you can change this 2% is when you now decide to stop this trade and adjust the take profit. But this is how Circle is. The robot sells each of the coins and automatically go back to pick it again. So take note, you must have capital if you want to do it. Now, what is the average monthly profit like for those who trade with Circle? The average monthly profit is between 5% to 50% of your capital. Now, what does it mean by average monthly profit? It means that if you have the first month, let's say you started in January, the first month you made 70% of your capital in January. February, you made 30% of your capital. In March, you made 20% of your capital. In April, you made 10% of your capital. No, in April, you made 0% of your capital. Let's put in April, you made 0% of your capital. And we are still in May, so the month have not ended. So let's stop at this point. So when you do 70 plus 30 plus 20, that will give me plus 0, that will give me 120. 120 divided by 4 will give me 30. So what it means is for each of those 4 months, you made 30% of your capital. That is what is meant by average monthly profit between 55% to 50% of your capital for Circle. Take note of that. Then for one shot are for people who do not have capital, and not just that, for people who also want to learn the skill, people who want to learn technical analysis. Let's say, for instance, of course, we know that your Royalq is not in charge of your funds. It's not in charge of your money. Your money remains in 100% in your custody inside your Binance. Let's say, for instance, Royalq, for any reason, the app or the software have to crash for any reason, which is not possible because the owners of the businesses, the money they are generating on a monthly basis, if you are the owner of that company, of this company called Royalq, you will do everything to protect it. If you are among the shareholders of this company, you will do everything to protect it. Imagine a company generating $185 million for its users, and out of that $185 million, 20% goes to them. So the question goes to you: if this is your company, and if you are a shareholder of this company also, would you want the business to die? That is the question you ask yourself. You won't, of course, you won't want it to die. But let's assume, because nothing lasts forever, let's just assume that. And Royalq had a reason to crash, maybe the board of directors, whatever, and the business, Royalq both crashed. Remember, your money remains with you, 100% with you. Now, at that point, you will realize what you have done to yourself, that you don't even have any skill to continue the business on Binance or Bybit, because you have depended on Circle all your life, on Circle, easy way out, automation. But if you learn the skill on how to trade, how to do technical analysis using your trading view to analyze coin and enter coins, come out and take your profit and the rest like that. You learn how to use the 230 indicators. You learn SS in the smart money concept and the rest like that. And peradventure, the Royalq business, the boat had any reason to crash, you can confidently make use of your trading view, analyze your coin, go to your Binance and place your trade and execute, take profit and replicate results. So for one shot, and for people who want to learn skill, you really want to learn the skill, you want to impart on people, you have younger ones, you have a son that is just coming up, that is about 10 years old, 15 years old. Before he gets to the society where they will teach him how to do it, Yahoo, press laptop, you should be able to have something that you as a parent, as a father, should impart on that child. That at the age of that 15, he should be able to make money and understand what financial freedom is through skills. So that is for people. One shot is for those kind of people. So if you want to learn skill, if you want to replicate result, if you want to do this, whether there is a Royalq exists or Royalq does not exist, provided there is Binance, provided crypto exists. So without even Royalq, you can learn skills from this one shot and always replicate result and make money at will. So that one shot is for those set of people. So for one shot, what does it mean? If you have, for instance, you have 320, like I said earlier, your 320 you can use Magic 1 on it and trade just one coin using your 320. You can trade just one coin using your 320. You can using your 320 rather. Now, because we said something about risk management, we are not going to allow you to use this 320 to just trade one coin using Magic 1, which is minimum of 320. Rather, we are going to tell you to do risk management. Divide this 320 by 3, so it comes out 108, 108, thereabout, 108, thereabout. And once you do it, this is known as diversifying your portfolio. And we know that this will now make us to use Magic 3, because Magic 3 says minimum of $100. So I'm using Magic 3 to trade coin A, coin B, coin C. So the concept behind this is, if you have two shops, shop A and shop B, shop A is selling rice, beans, and garri, and shop B is selling only garri. Between shop A and shop B, who have the chances to sell almost every day? So you will agree with me that it is shop A, because if shop A does not sell garri today, it means shop B will not sell garri today. But because shop A has option of rice and beans, shop A will definitely sell either rice or beans that day. So that puts shop A in a better position to always make profits, regardless, because he has 3 options. So that is why we are telling you to diversify your portfolio. Oluwafemi, please stop writing on my screen, please. So that is why we are telling you to diversify your portfolio. So if I am trading 3 coins, peradventure, if this coin is taking time to sell, coin B will definitely sell with time. If coin B are sold, coin C will sell. By the time I trade another coin D and coin E, coin A that is taking time to sell would have sold. So that is how it does. So for one shot, once you place a trade, I can decide to take 3% on this one. I can decide to take 5% on this one, depending on how the signal comes. Or if you are picking it yourself, I can decide to take 10% on this one. And let's assume this 5% and 10% sells. The robot will not pick this trade again. It will close this entire trade. It will also close this entire trade. You will have to use your hand again to pick another trade. Maybe I send a signal on coin D and coin E because two of your coins are already out. So you have to pick this signal, and this one came with 4%, and this one came with 3%. You see that on one shot, you have the liberty to take different take profits as against the circle where you program it 2%, and that is 2% to be missing for you. But for one shot, you have the chances to take different take profit at intervals. So having said this, once it sells this trade, it closes the entire trade and you go and pick another one. That is one shot for you. Now, what is the average monthly profit like for one shot? The average monthly profit for one shot is between 5% to 100% of your capital. Let's say in January you made 70%. In February you made 50%. In March you made 30%. And in April you made 0%. For instance, you made 0% for instance. Now, once I total 70 plus 50 plus 30, that will give me about $150. And 150% divided by the 4 months, that will give me about, I think, 45%, thereabout. 150, let me be sure. Okay, that will give me 37.5%. So it means that on each of this month, you made 37.5% of your capital. That is what we meant by one shot. Take note of that. Having said that, we are now going to go to the next thing, margin configuration. For the word configuration, it means this is the settings. This is the command your robot works with. So I am going to be talking about margin configuration alongside with this whole position take profit 3% and alongside with this distributed take profit 1.3%. Please take note of that. Take note of that. Now, margin configuration is divided into two parts. We have the margin call drop and we have the multiple buying ratio. So I will explain margin call drop, then later come to multiple buying ratio to explain. Now, for margin call drop, now remember, I will go back again. I have 108, visited my friend's shop, willing to spend $15 there. After spending $15, I was left with $93. This $93, I want to spend it across this shop. And mind you, it is the same item, which is banana, I'm buying in all these shops. So for the margin call drop, as soon as I came to my friend's shop, she told me a bunch of banana for $7. After much negotiation, argument, she agreed. Remember, we are trading on the spot market. You have to negotiate the price you want to buy. And you always want to buy it cheaper. So if you see the price at $7, you need to negotiate. That is why we always wait for setup to see a better price to buy. So after negotiating, she now finally accepted to sell a bunch of banana for $5 for me. So I accepted and I had to send $5 $15. So I was able to buy 3 pieces of banana at the rate of $5 with my $15. So I bought when the price was $5. That was when I bought. Now, since I have gotten the first set of bunch of banana at the price of $5, the next thing now is I need to go to the next shop. But the idea is we always want to buy lower than the first time we bought. So if I must go to the next shop, which is the first shop, I want to buy the banana lower than what I bought in my friend's shop. So if I see the price drop lower than what I bought in that my friend's shop, that is what will trigger me to come to the first shop to buy. So when am I going to get that triggering to come to the first shop to buy? Is this margin call drop that will give me that signal. So once I've used this $15 in my friend's shop, it means I'm left with $93. So I'm waiting to use this $93 to go through this first shop to the second shop. Now, but when do I get to this first shop? As soon as this price, this $5 I bought in my friend's shop drops by 1%, let's assume that 1% of this $5 will give me 4.5. So as soon as this price drops to 4.5, it means that the signal to buy in the first shop has been sent to me. Immediately, the robot will buy at the first shop. So what it means is that drop in price from $5 to 4.5, it means that it has dropped by 1%. So it means that the robot will trigger to buy at the first shop. So we call it first shop. I'm calling it first shop for you to understand, but here we call it first call. So it dropped by 1% from this price I bought in my friend's shop, gave me 4.5. So as soon as I saw the price at 4.5, as soon as I saw the price at 4.5, as soon as I saw the price at 4.5, as soon as I saw the price at 4.5, immediately I got the triggering to enter the first shop, which is the first call. Now the new price I bought at the first, the new price I entered at the first shop is now 4.5. So this is the price I'm looking out for. Now I need a drop of this price for me to enter the second shop. For me to enter the second shop, it means this price has to drop. So for it to drop, for me to enter the second shop, it has to drop by 5%. Let's assume 5% drop in price of this 4.5 will give me 4.0. So as soon as the price drops from 4.5 to 4.6, it will trigger me to enter the second shop. At that point, you say that this price has dropped by 5%. Similarly for the third shop. Now, this is the new price I'm looking at now for me to enter the third shop. I need this new price to drop by what? By 1%. Let's assume 1% in drop of this new price gives me 3.8. So as soon as the price drops from 4% to 3.8, it will trigger me to enter the third shop, which means at the third shop, the price have dropped by 1%. For me to enter the fourth shop, it means this new price of 3.8 has to drop by 5%. Let's say a drop in 5% gives me 3.5 for instance. So as soon as this current price of 3.8 drops to 3.5, it will trigger me, the robot, to buy in the fourth shop, which means that price of 3.8 has dropped by 5%. For me to enter the fifth shop, it means that this new price, which is 3.5, has to drop by 1%. Let's say a drop in the new price by 1% will give me 3.2. So as soon as we see this price of 3.5 drop to 3.2, it will trigger me to enter the fifth shop. It means that price have dropped by 1%. For me to enter this sixth shop, now this new price of 3.2 has to drop by another 5%. A drop in the 3.5, 3.2, let's say it drops by 5%, which will give me 2.8. So as soon as the price drops by to 2.8 to trigger me to enter the C short, which means that this 3.2 has dropped by 5%. Lastly, for me to enter the seventh shop, it means that this new current price, which is 2.8 that I bought, has to drop by 7%. Let's say a drop in this new price by 7% gives me 2.0. Excuse me, please. I'm back. Sorry, I just got a little bit. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, please, I need a notification on chat. 111 on chat. If you can still hear me, I need a 111 on chat, please. Okay, thank you, Coach King. Okay, for you to buy at the seventh shop, this 2.8, which is the current price it bought last when it entered the C shop, has to drop by 7%. A drop in 7%, let's say a drop in 7% is 2.0. So 2.0. It will trigger the rubber would buy at the seventh shop. So at this point that it has bought at the seventh shop from the first buying amount, which is my friend's shop, down to the seventh shop, what it means that it has used up the entire 108 inside the trade. So at this point, I am in what they call floating loss. So when you now do 1 plus 5 plus 1 plus 5 plus 1 plus 5 plus 7, it gives you total of 25. So if you were here when we started this 25, it means it has dipped by minus 25, bringing you back to the dashboard when I was explaining this, that Magic 3 covers for 25% dip. So because it has dipped by 25%, it means it has exhausted all your capital. At that point, you don't need to panic. All you need to do is to wait patiently. As soon as the price starts going up, I will tell you what's going to happen when the price starts going up. So let's stop this margin call drop here. So I believe you understand the margin call drop concept, that this is how your boat buys with your money bit by bit. As soon as it's dropping from one level to another, as soon as the price is dropping, it begins to buy across different levels for you. For Magic 3, it buys across 7 different levels for you. And at that point, your entire 108 is already inside that trade. I hope this is making sense. Now, for multiple buying ratio now, you guys will agree with me that in my friend's shop, that was the only place you knew how much the robber was going to use from your money. Every other shop, you did not know how much. Even when the price was dropping and the robot was buying, you didn't know how much it was using from the remaining money to buy at interval. But the only place you knew how much the robot used from your 108 was that my friend's shop, which was $15. But when the robot started buying across the first call, second call, third call, fourth call, you never knew how much it was using to buy across those levels. So how much, the question now is, how much was he using to buy across each level? Because when he used $15, this $15 from my 108, I was left with $93. So I need to know at every level it was buying, how much it was using to buy bit by bit from this $93. So for you to be able to know that, you need the help of multiple buying ratio to do that. So that is where the multiple buying ratio comes in. Now, how do multiple buying ratio helps you to know at different first shop, as the price drop by 1%, it triggers to buy. So it's a simple calculation. It's just about your 0.8, this 0.8, this 0.8 that you're seeing, times your first buying amount. That first buying amount is talking about the amount you are willing to spend in your friend shop, which is this first buying amount, times your first buying amount, 15. So 0.8 times 15. 0.8 times 15. 0.8 times 15. So what you used in the first shop from your $93 was $12. So in this first shop, you used $12. In the second shop, for you to know how much it used is 0.4 times 15 again. It's as easy as this. 0.4 times 15. We use $6 in the second shop. $6. In the third shop, 1.4 times 15. He used $21. $21. So $12, $6, $21. You see that in the fourth shop, 0.4, we've done it, which is $6. In the fifth shop, he used another $21. That is 1.4 times $15. In the sixth shop, he used another $6. In the seventh shop, he used another $21. So this is how you spread your money: $15, $12, 15 plus 12 plus 6 plus 21 plus 6 plus 21 plus 6 plus 21. It will give you your total of 108. So at that point, it has used your 108, which is this 108 that you are seeing here. At that point, you have used your 108. It means that coin has dipped by minus 25%. At that point, you are now on a floating loss, but floating loss is not a real loss. So what happens now is, as soon as all you need at this point is patience. That is why we tell you the crypto market requires patience. So this is where the patience comes in. As soon as this market starts going up, what it does is, now please remember I said we are going to use distributed take profit allocation from fifth call to seventh call, and opposition take profit ratio 3% to explain this margin configuration. Now, fifth call to seventh call, 1.3%. Now, when the price starts going up, as soon as it gets to the price, it will set the seventh call. What you use in buying the seventh call is $21. It will give you 1.3% of this $21. When it gets to the sixth call, it will give you 1.3% of $6. When it gets to the fifth call, it will give you 1% or 1.3% of $21. Now, you are waiting for it to get to the fourth call, to set the fourth call. The price will drop again. It will buy fifth, sixth, and seventh. The price will go up again to sell 7, sell 6. Remember, as it's selling 7, 6, and 5, it's selling them as individual. Take note of that. That is what we call subset. So the price came down again to buy 5, 6. The price will go up again to sell 6, give you 1.3% of whatever it is in buying at the sixth level. Sell 5, give you 1.3% of whatever it is in buying at the fifth level. You are waiting for it to get to 4. The price will drop again because there is volatility downtrend. So it will buy 5, 6, and 7. Now, even when the coin is down, you are making small money. We call it subset downtrend. In any exchange, Binance, Bybit, there's nothing like that. When your coin is down, you will wait until it gets to your take profit before you can see any money. But we're using Royalq, even when the market is down, it takes advantage on the volatility downtrend to be making money for you, in which this distributed take profit allocation from fifth call to seventh call is what is responsible for that small money you are making. So finally, subset alone, between 5th to 7th, subset alone, you might have made like $2 on this coin. Sometimes some people even make $5, depending on the volatility downtrend. So as soon as the market gets to the fourth call, interestingly, it does not sell the fourth call as individual. So what it does, it will combine the amount it used in buying the fourth call. So at the fourth call, what did he use? He used $6. At the third call, what did he use? He used $21. At the second call, he used $6 again. At the first call, he used $12 again. Plus your first buying amount, 15. So the robot is going to total sum of the amount from fourth call to the first buy. total everything, and give you this whole position take profit, which is 3%. 3%. So if you have made on subset 2% downtrend and you are coming here 3% of whatever total amount, if you do the calculation, whatever amount is there, and you're making extra $2. So total of $4 that you have made on that coin using your 108. So this is how the robot works and does the buying and selling for you while you are sleeping, while you are eating, while you are doing whatever you're doing, while you're going about your 9 to 5. And this settings does not require much time. It's not time consuming. Not more than 3 minutes. You have compute these settings one time on your Royalq board. Once you compute it, you don't have to come to this Excel sheet again. All you need to do, anything you want to do, you edit it from there. You don't need to come and put all these parameters again. The only things you can just be, maybe you want to upgrade your capital to 200. Only thing you can change, once you put this Excel sheet to 200, it gives you a new, it gives you, sorry, my screen just went off. Let me switch over. Okay. Hope you guys can see my screen now. Sorry, I'm trying to bring up my screen. They just interrupted power supply from my own end. So I'm trying to switch over. My desktop is okay. Can you see my screen now? Please, if you can see my screen, I need the word C on the chat. If you can see my screen,
Yes, good.
okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. So now, what was I saying? This is how the Royalq board trades for you, and it's not time consuming. It's not time consuming. Now, it will interest you that what I just explained is the default settings of Royalq. That is the natural way that the Royalq board is assigned to trade for you. That is the default way the Royalq board is assigned to trade for you. Now, we are now telling you that we have different two styles that we use, two settings. We have the default settings, which I just explained now, and we have the boot tactics. Boot tactics. Now, under boot tactics, we have category 1 and category 2. So for Magic 3, we don't make use of category 2. Take note of that. We only make use of category 1. So we are going to talk about category 1. But I have explained default settings for you. So it is important for you to understand the difference between default settings and boot tactics category 1 if you are making use of Magic 3. Now, what is the advantage for using default settings? The advantage for using default setting is if the trade goes against you, between 5th to 7th call, you'll be seeing small money downtrend while you are waiting for it to sell off 4, 3, 2, 1, and the first bar as one entity and give you your final profit, then end the trade. But what is the disadvantage for default settings? The disadvantage, which is not a disadvantage, but people are greedy, let me put it that way. People want to make a lot of money with little money, forgetting that this is also a game of number. Let's assume that it does not buy the 5th call to the 7th call, and it only buys from 1st call to the 4th call. and you have $15 already was taken out, you have $12 here, you have $6 here, you have another $21 here, and you have $6 there. Let's do how much will be total inside that trade from first call to the fourth call. Now 15, that's the first buy from my first shop, plus the first shop is $12, plus the second shop is $6, plus the third shop is $21, plus the fourth shop is $6. So what you are going to have is a total of $60 here from the first buy. Total. So if your robot does not come down to buy 5, 6, and 7, and it ends here and the price goes up to give you 3%, 3% of $60 is what you're going to see. So 3% of $60, that is $1.8 is what you're going to make here. Now, there are times you are using default settings. The robot will just buy $15, buy your first buying amount, and goes up to sell and give you 3% because the market there's high demand and the market is pumping. It will just buy your first $15, buy your $12, and goes up to sell. At the end of the day, you're making like 0 point something cents. So when people keep seeing that kind of thing, they will now not be discouraged. They will now be discouraged that the profits are too small, but not knowing that they can even make more than that, but they lack a particular skill that they don't know. That is why you see someone that is using 108 and is making 0.2 or 0.5 or 0.9 cents. And another person using 108 is making about $3.3 on that coin. So what is the difference between them? This one making 0.9 cents is using it the default way, the normal way. And maybe he just buy first call, second call, it goes to sell and give him 0.9 cents. It doesn't come down to even buy more because the market is high, the market is demand. So on that note, you are experiencing 0.9 cents and you're bothered. You might want to try bull tactics. So this thing that this person is doing, which is now bull tactics category 1, you will not try. So let me explain how to do bull tactics category 1. So I've told you the advantage of default settings and the disadvantage of default settings. It is very important for you to understand it. Take note of that. Now for bull tactics category 1, what does it mean? The idea of bull tactics is you want to make more profits. And you know that from your first buying amount, that 15, to your fourth call, the robot sees it as 1. So the idea of bull tactics is to ensure that 100% of your capital, 100% of your 108, by the time the robot buys from first buy down, by the time the robot buys from your first buy, let me let the first buy show. By the time your robot buys from your first buy, which is this, down to your first call to your fourth call, you're already having your entire 108 inside here. But you know that the natural way, if your robot buys your first buy, by the time it buys to the fourth call, we are only seeing $60 inside. So how come is it possible that your robot will now buy from first buy to the fourth call, you will be seeing 108? Now, this is made possible through what they call manual replenishment or manual buy. Manual buy or manual replenishment is an idea of forcing money inside the robot as against the normal default settings. So how do you do that? Now, you don't just force any amount. There's a calculation for it. So how do we do the calculation? How do you know the amount you are going to force inside the robot? The amount you are going to use for your manual buy. So this is the calculation for it. So the idea of manual buy is you will lock the fifth call, meaning you are not interested in making small money here. You want 100% of your capital to enter from first call to the fourth call. So the first step you want to do is lock your fifth call, which I'm going to show you how to do it in your Royalq. 50%, you lock it. So what you are telling the robot, only buy from first call to the fourth call. When you get to the fifth call, don't trigger a buy. The only time you can trigger a buy is when that coin dip by 50%. But it is almost difficult to see that because we are in the bull season. Now that you have told the robot, you have locked it at fifth call, the first thing you need to do now, you use your multiple buying ratio. Remember, we want to calculate the amount we are going to force. I want to teach you how to calculate it. So first step, lock your fifth call, put 50% there. First step, lock fifth call. Don't mind my writing, follow my mouth with 50%. Second step, sum up the multiple buying ratio from the first call to the fourth call. So from first call, this is the multiple buying ratio. You sum it up from the first call to the fourth call. So for instance, if I lock the fourth call, it means I'm only going to sum up the multiple buying ratio from first call to the third call. If I lock the third call, put 50, it means I'm only going to sum up the multiple buying ratio from first call to second call. If I lock the second call, I'm only going to use multiple buying ratio for first call. That is as simple as that. Please take note of that. So the second step is you sum up, that is from first call to the fourth call. 0.8 plus 0.4 plus 1.4 plus 0.4. Once you add all of them up, let's add what is going to give us. 0.8 plus 0.4 plus 1.4 plus 0.4. So it will give me 3. So the answer is going to give me is 3. Take note of it. Now, step 3. That answer you get, always add it plus 1. That one is constant. And I will explain why it is constant. Always add it plus 1. Now, this plus 1 is as a result of that shop, my friend's shop, that position that my friend's shop is occupying. This position that this first buying amount is occupying is always constant, which is that my friend's shop. So this one is constant, is the position that my friend's shop is occupying. That is 3 plus 1 now is 4. Always remember to do this, please. So we have 4. This answer that you got, which is 4, step 4 now, you multiply your answer by your first buying amount. What is your first buying amount? Is 15. So 4 times 15. That will give me 60. Are you seeing it? To give me 60. Remember, for default settings, when the bot buys naturally, by the time it buys from first buy to fourth call, what you are seeing is $60. This $60 that you are seeing for default way. Now, it will give you 60. This 60 now, that is step 5. I think 1, 2, 3, 4. Step 5. This 60 that you got now, the capital, your capital that you are using, this is your 108 minus 60. What will it give us? 108 minus 60 will give us $48. Now, this $48 is what you are going to use for your manual replenishment. This is what you are going to force inside the robot. Now, the question now is, at what point are you going to force in this amount? That is the question. So for every capital you are using, if you want to do your manual replenishment, you want to calculate the figure. Once you put the capital on your remark, it brings this multiple buying ratio. It is this same procedure that you are going to use, this step-by-step procedure. What we only change is the figures you are working with. Nothing else changes. So if I was using $100, my manual replenishment would have been $46 if we had done the calculation using $100. But because I'm using 108, my manual replenishment from the calculation came out $48. Now the question now is, when are we going to inject this? When are we going to inject this? That is what I want to explain now, and pay attention. Now we now know that $48 is what we are going to use for our manual replenishment. Now you have that $48 in your hand. Now remember, in my friend's shop, I bought the banana at the price of $5. And remember, the next time I will enter this first shop is when the price gets to 4.5 from our calculation that time. Now, between this $5 to 4.5, there are figures here: 4.9, 4.8, 4.7. So you want to force in this $48 as soon as your robot picks that $15 at this $5. The next thing you are waiting for the price to drop. You are waiting for a price to drop to like 4.9, 4.8 before it even drop to buy on your first call. You want to inject this money inside here. That is where how to do your manual replenishment. So as it picks your $15 at $5, as soon as the $5 drop to 4.9, 4.8, you want to rush and do it. So take note, your manual replenishment should always be done cheaper than the amount, the first buying amount that it bought, the price at which you bought your first buying amount. So if you bought your first buying amount at the price of $5, you want to do your manual replenishment cheaper than this $5. Immediately the price drop, you do your manual replenishment. But there are times that you might not be fast with it. The price would have gone down. Before you know, you cannot even meet up any of this price here, and it has already bought your first margin call, which is your first shop. So at that point, you can still do your manual replenishment. But now, if you are doing the manual replenishment, please take note. You are looking at this price now. You are doing your manual replenishment cheaper than this price. Now, you are going to force this money when this price drop to 4.4, at least before it buys the second shop. And if you cannot still meet up and it buys the second shop, if you want to do the manual replenishment, it should be cheaper than the price it bought in the second shop. So, but the idea is to see how to force in this $48. So let's assume you succeeded in forcing it after he bought the first shop. You now succeeded in forcing it. Or let's assume that you forced it after I bought your $5. You now force the 48. So you are now having 15 plus 48 inside your trade. Now, as soon as the price goes down again, it buys the first shop, which is 12 here plus 12. As soon as it goes down again, it buys the second shop, which is about 6 here plus 6. As soon as it goes down again, it buys the third one, which is plus 21. As soon as it goes down again, it buys the fifth one and the fourth one, which is plus 6 again. When you total it, you'll be seeing your 108 from first call. From first call to fourth call, you'll be seeing 108 here. Now, if the price goes up and it doesn't come down again, it goes up and deliver 3%. 3% of 108. 108 times 3. Sorry, 3% times 108. So 3% of 108 will be giving you 3.24. But someone that is using default settings, that it just bought from first call to fourth call, which you have $60, 3% of it will be giving 1.8. So where you are making 3.24, that person is making 1.8. What is the difference? This person is using default settings, and you are using boot tactics. That is the skill we are telling you. So that is why we say, if you are trading 3 coins at a time, if you are a very patient person, put one on default settings and put 2 on boot tactics. If you are not a patient person, put 2 on default settings and put 1 on boot tactics. If you are trading 4 coins, put 2 on default settings and 2 on boot tactics. That is what we are saying. Now, however, this is the advantage of the boot tactics. Now, let's assume that it did not even buy up to the fourth call. Let's assume after I pick your $15, you succeeded in injecting $48. And that was all. That was all. Now, it means that 15 plus 48, what ended up entering is $60. 3% of $60 will give you 1.8. But if you are using default settings and yet it did not even buy the first call and it just bought only $15, 3% of $15 will be giving you 0.7 cents. You see that someone that is still using default settings, still making small money than person that is using bull tactics. That is the skill we are talking about. Now, this is the advantage of bull tactics for you to make more money, more profit. But anything that has advantage has a disadvantage. So you need to understand the disadvantage so that when it happens to you, you will be ready. Like I'm suffering from one now like this too, that I use bull tactics. And I'm not seeing money. I've been waiting for 5 days. I'm not seeing money subset because I want to make big money up there. But yes, I'm ready to bear the consequence because I understood what I was doing before I ever did it. For people who do not understand, will now be panicking when you know that that trade, whatever comes down will go up. That is just the truth. And whatever goes up will come down in the crypto space. So for you now that have locked here fifth call, 50%, you are not interested in subset. The disadvantage of that boot tactic is if the trade now goes down more to want to buy this fifth call, when the robot triggers to buy the fifth call, because you have put 100% of your capital inside from first call to fourth call, the robot will trigger for you insufficient funds. Please add more funds. Now, in that case, you have already split your money into 3 different coins, so you don't have more money to even add. All you need to do is allow it, wait patiently. Now, if the price continues to go down, the price continues to go down, you have to wait. Now, the disadvantage is when you are waiting, as you are waiting, you are not seeing money subset. Unlike default settings, while you are waiting, you'll be seeing money subset. You're making downtrend for you. Take note of that. So if you still feel okay, you want to see money subset, if you have any extra money, open this margin call, remove this 50 and change it back to 1. The robot will start buying from 5th, 6th, and 7th, and you start enjoying subset. While you are waiting to go up, it will still give you good profit up, and you are still making small money downtrend. That's if you have extra money. But if you don't have extra money, all you need to do is wait patiently. As the price goes up, it sells and give you your take profit. It's as easy as that. If you understand your business, you will not panic. You will not panic if you understand your business. So that is that about bull tactics category 1 and the default settings. I hope this is clear. I hope this is clear. So if you have any question on this, please drop it. There's another thing I need to explain, how to place trade. It's 2 things I'm going to treat today, is how to place trade using your Royalq bots. So drop your question while I'm trying to bring up this app that will connect to my system. If you have a question as regards to what I just explained, drop your question, please. So I'm trying to, okay. Someone said you did not talk about how to inject the remaining fund. I explained it now. When in the section, I explained it. You just said we should put it there. How do we put it? That is what I want to explain. I'm bringing up my Royalq, so I will show you people in practical how to do it. But let me go back to the Excel sheet template. If you are still seeing my Excel sheet template, I told you that when you have calculated it, you now know it's $48 you are going to inject. Now, I said, at what point are you going to inject it? As soon as it picks your first $15, which is your first buying amount. Remember, in my friend shop, I bought that thing at the price of $5. Take note of that. So I'm waiting for this price. And when I was giving you an example, I told you if it buys at first at $5, for it to buy at the first call, it has to drop by 1%. And 1%, let's assume 1% is at 4.5. So this is the next time this price will drop. This $5 should drop to this 4.5 for it to buy the first shop. But between this $5 and this first shop, that is where you want to inject this $48. So as soon as the robot picks your first $15 at the price of $5, what you are waiting to see a drop in this $5 by 4.9 or 4.8. Anything lower than this $4, then you inject it, your money. So if you want me to show you how to inject it in your Royalq, I will show you, but this is the point at which you want to do it. So I said that if you were slow about it and the price moved sharply downward to buy the first shop, don't panic. Nothing spoil. All you need to do is wait patiently for the price to drop from 4.5 to maybe 4.4. Once you see it drop, you inject that money. At least before he buys the second shop, you should inject it. Even if he buys the second shop, let's say he buys the second shop at 4.2, and you have yet to do your manual replenishment. This is your target price. Now you are waiting for this price to just drop by 4.1. You inject your $48. You can do, provided you want to do both tactics. So the idea is to ensure you force in that $48, irrespective of whether it has bought the first call, second call, or third call, or fourth call. But you want to do it cheaper than any of the call that it has bought. I hope this is clear. Okay, thank you, Mr. MJ. Thank you, Mr. Ogbeni. Okay, I hope I've attended to that question. You said you want to see the practical, which I'm going to do at the moment. So, you just said we should put it. How do we put it? Okay. So another question is from King Jose somewhere. He said, please, sir, what will happen if someone inject more money into the market more than its calculated margin? A good question. If you inject more money, remember you want your robots to buy from first call to fourth call. So if you inject more money, the implication is you might not have sufficient money to even buy the third shop to the fourth shop. And if the price goes down more further, maybe you're after I pick your $15, you are supposed to put $48. You now went to put maybe $60, and the price goes down, and the remaining money can buy first, second. You might, and it's going down more. You will not have enough money to buy the third and the fourth call. And the idea is you want it to buy, because the more it buys, the faster it takes you out of the market. Now, for instance, if it buys the first call, which is 15, it will tell you that you are going to come out when the price gets to $5. If it buys the first shop, it will not tell you that, oh, the new price you are going to come out is $4. If it buys the second shop, it will not tell you the new price you are going to come out of this trade is $3.5. You see that the more it buys, the faster it takes you out of the market. And that is why people don't even understand the blessing of margin calls. So, but once it is buy, people are panicking. You don't know that the more it buys, the faster it takes you out of the market. So know that today, please. Margin call is a blessing. So, King Ose, I hope this question has been answered. From your illustration, I just saw from your illustration, King Joseph, nothing, no questions there. Yes. How do we know from the Royalq app when the robot has triggered from the first call to the seventh call, respectively? That one is the robot's work. Everything is already configured. So it is the robot's work. You'll just be seeing it. I will show you. You'll be seeing it first buy, second call. You'll be seeing that it is buying, but I'll show you that. Then, please, coach, when using MACD, does it still need use the boot tactics category 1 or 2? Yes, you can use boot tactics category using MACD if you choose to. If you choose to. If you choose to leave it at default settings, you can. If you choose to use boot tactics category, you should. You should. But remember, boot tactics category 1 only works with Magic. Magic 3 only works with boot tactics category 1. Where you can use boot tactics category 2 is Magic 1 and Magic 5. Take note of that, please. Next class, I will explain boot tactics category 2 when I'm talking about Magic 1. I hope that is clear. Then Prince Adeni, King Prince Adeni. Well done, sir. If I am on a trade that keeps going down, though, giving me subset, but refuse to go up for up to a week, now, can I increase my capital with the 100 to pick another? Can I increase my capital with $100 to pick another trade? If you have assigned $100 to a coin that has gone down and is still giving you subset, and you want to use another additional $100 to pick a new coin, you can pick a new coin. But if you are telling me that maybe you have $70 and you want to add it to that coin, let's say it has used your $100, what is left is $30, and you want to add another $70 to make it $100 to trade a new coin, you cannot do that because this $30 has already been assigned to that first coin that has already $70 inside the trade. So you need to bring in a fresh $100 to open new coin, please. That is why we can tell you, do not trade one coin. If you want to trade minimum of 3 coins at a time, risk management, if one is taking time to sell, that your coin will definitely sell. Is the patience we talk about. Is the patience. The fact that coin is taking 1 week does not mean when it comes out and you place another trade, that one can take 30 minutes, you're out. It can take 1 hour, you're out. Within 24 hours, you're out. It all depends on the market. We analyze, but the market will also do its own thing. Please take note of that. The market is being controlled by the whales. It's being manipulated by the whales. So the higher the demand, the higher the pumping money, the faster the market goes. So that is why we try as much as possible. When we are trying to send signal, we want to see a setup before we send signal. So that is it. I hope King Prince have answered your question. Okay, King Ogbeni, yes, it is a practical injection. I want to learn. Yes, it's clear. Okay, thank you. Can I still change the 50% to the normal position when market keeps going down after? Yes. If you have more money, you can switch over, remove the 50% and put it to the normal, and it buys more. But in a situation whereby you have used 100% of your capital and you don't have more money, if you open the 50%, the robot will trigger to want to buy the fifth call, but there's no money to use to buy it. It will tell you insufficient form. Then it will require you to top in more money, and it continues buying from there so that you can be enjoying subset. From your illustration of margin call and multiple call settings, does it mean we should use the margin call and multiple call settings of MACD for the new way signal is being dropped? Now, as regards to signal from the signal group, please take note of this thing. Please, it's a very good question you have asked. Take note of this thing. For people who are using $100 and you want to pick signal from the signal group, please use the MACD Excel sheet template for that. Please use the MACD Excel sheet template for that for people who are using $100. And the MACD Excel sheet template is just simple. There's no much thing you need to do. It's just come and change this first call. Everything is the same. Change this first call to 0.1, second call to 0.1, third call to 0.1, fourth call to 0.1, fifth call to 0.1, sixth score to 2.5, the seventh score to 2.5. That is all you need to do and save it. So if you are picking signal, you use this template. Don't use, if you are picking signal, don't use this 151515 for $100 people, please. But if you are making use of Magic 1, 320, and Magic 5, use the normal template, this normal template. As far as you are picking signal, use the normal template, this template, and this normal template for our signal. But if you are doing MACD automation, stick to the template of MACD automation. But if you know you are coming to pick signal and you are using Magic 1 and you're using Magic 3, you are coming to pick signal from the signal group, use our normal Magic 5 settings template, our normal Magic 2 one settings template. But if you are doing MACD automation where you don't want to do anything the lazy man way, stick to the templates that we gave you for Magic 1, Magic 5, and Magic 3 using that MACD automation. Is that clear? King Joseph, please, if this is clear, respond to me. I need to be sure that this is clear. King Joseph, okay, it's clear, good. Then one more thing, please drop the MACD template in the group. They will drop it for you in the group. Coach Fahad, please drop it on the road to VCs for them. Let them see. Please. Thank you. Then let me show you people how to place a trade, how to do your manual replenishment, and that will be the end of today's section. I believe you guys are getting value from this section. So I'm going to share the screen now. And if you can see, can you guys see my screen? If you can see my screen, I need the word "see" on the chat. So if you can see my screen, I need the word "see" on the chat. So now, please take note of this now. Let's assume, for instance, now you want to trade. Okay, let's go to home. For instance, now we go to home and a signal from the signal group. We want to show you how to pick signal from the signal group. Let's come to the signal group. Hope you can still see my screen. Can you see my WhatsApp? Can you see my WhatsApp? Can you guys see my WhatsApp? Okay, good. Now, let me go to the signal channel. Now, let's say this signal now TRX-USDT. They said TRX-USDT pre-sale price is 0.273. Now, the first thing you need to do is you come and you check the signal TRC20. That is the name of the coin. So this is how to pick a coin, please. This is how to pick and trade from signal group. So you come and you click on your home button. Home. This is home. You click on the home. You are going to see this background. You come on search. Now, if your account is a new account, please, you might not have the list of all the coins here. So what you want to do, come to Manage Plus. First, you click on the Manage Plus. It brings up this. Now, because you are trading on the spot market, you see different markets. And what you are trading on is on the spot market. So you want to click in spots. So you tap spots. And if you have not added the list of coin, you come down here and click on all. You tick on this all. Tick on all. Tick here. When you tap here, it will tick. Like in this case, most of the coins are not there. Then you click on add. You add it. If you don't do this, you will go and search for the name of that coin. You will not see because you have not added the list of coin. After doing that, you go back to your home. Press this and go back to your home. Then when you get to home back, you come down to search where you have search. You're already on home. You click on your search button. This is your search button. And you search for the name of this coin. Now, because you have not traded more of the coins, if you leave it on favorite and you search for the name of the coin, you're not going to see it. So for a new account, you want to put it on all. But if it is a coin you have traded before, you can put it on favorite, it will come out. But if you have not traded the coin before, just put it on all and it will come out. Now, once you put it on all, you search for the name of the coin. TRX, Abi? TXR. What's the name of that coin? TRX, okay? TRX. So you just put search of the name of the coin here, which I'm going to do now. I put it on all. TRX. So TRX, I'll click on top of the coin. Once you search it, the name of the coin comes out. You click on top of the coin. Please take note of that. You click on the name of the coin. Once you click on the name of the coin, you tap inside like this. It brings you to this part. So you come down, you will see create. So first step is search for the name of the coin. Tap on top of the coin. It brings you to this place. You click on create. Now you click on create. You click on create again. It will be on martingale strategy. Make sure it is on martingale strategy. Then you click on create again. So once you click on create, you tap it, it brings you to this part. Now on this part, remember your settings from your Excel sheet template. Before now, you must have saved your settings. Maybe some other time will teach you how to save your settings from the Excel sheet. So before now, you must have saved your settings from the Excel sheet template. So all you need to do now, you want to have access to that settings. So you come to trade settings, click on this trade settings. You click on trade settings. So once you click on trade settings, it takes you to this point. So you go up. Remember, everything, we are in control of this robot. So anything we are doing it manually. So it's on smart create right now, but you want to put it on manually create. Take note of that. You want to put it on manually create. So I'll click on manually create. Then it brings me to my template. Choose a strategy settings. Now, this is where that your settings from your Excel sheet template is. So once I click this drop down button, it takes me to where the settings is. So if I want to make use of $1,000 or $100 settings, let's assume this is the settings I want to use. All you need to do, just tap anywhere here on top. The settings will enter inside the coin. Once the settings enter inside the coin, it shows you the amount. If it's $100, it shows you that it's $100 settings that you are using here. This is $1,000 settings. So all the settings are inside. Now, when you come here, please take note. There are 4 things you need to pay attention to, whether you are using Android or this thing. First, you want to pay attention to choose your strategy settings, which we have just checked. Your strategy mood. You want to pay attention to your first buying amount. You want to pay attention to your AI margin calls. And the last thing you want to pay attention to is your whole position take profit ratio. These are the 4 things. You must make sure you change it. So when you come here, my template, you put your settings, $1,000 settings. Then the strategy mood. Now, you always want to put it on the third one. The third one is down. Once you tap it, it brings you here. So you want to put it on sub being mood real-time settlements. So why? You want the robot, as it's selling for you and giving you your profit, you want to be seeing those profits in real time. You don't want it to accumulate it until it sells the trade finally. But if you put it in old warehouse mode, you are telling your robot, only when you should trigger these sales is when, only when you should trigger this is when it has sold. Like if it's giving you subset, you will not be seeing it in real time. It will be accumulating it, keeping it for you until it sells the entire trade and add everything and total. You don't want it. You want it to be on sub real time settlement. But if you are using boot tactics where you will lock it from first call to fourth call, and you are sure it's boot tactics you want to use, you can leave it on O warehouse sub mode. O warehouse sub mode, you can leave it there. But if you want to do normal default setting or boot tactics category 2, put it on subbing mode real-time settlement. Please take note of that. So now I will put it on subbing real-time mode settlement. So the next thing I need to change is my first buying amount. So for 520, it is $20 because I'm using 1,000, which is from, so, but for $100, it is $15 you are going to use. From the essential, enable open position table should be enabled. So for people using iPhone, your AI margin call will always show you on. You off it. Please take note, off it here. Then every other thing is okay. Every other thing is okay for $100 settings. So once everything is okay, your opposition take profit. Now, signals come with different take profit. Like for now, we give you people 3%. So the TRC20 is 3, TRX is 20, 3% rather, is 3%. So now, once you go back to your opposition take profit, ensure it is 3%. If they give you 2%, change it from 3% to 2%. If they give you 5%, change it from 5% to 2%. 5%, from 3% to 5%. That is how to do this. Sorry. So you come here to change the take profits. Once you have changed it, you click on save. You click on save. Confirm. Now you click on save. Now that's your settings. You have saved it in this coin. Everything is okay now. So the next thing you want to do now is you want to activate the robot to start trading for you. But remember, before you activate, there is a preset price given to you. You have to check that preset price. Now the preset price is 0.2. This is the preset price. Is 0. Preset price is 0.2730. Now, what this means is that you want to buy at this price. So you always compare it with your current price before you either trigger the bot. Now, for instance, now before I will activate, I will have to confirm the current price. Now, if you see the current price in is 0.2732, 0.2733, and from the preset price they gave us what? They gave us 0.2730. Remember, we are trading on the spot market and we want to buy low so that when the price we want to buy low so that as the price goes up we sell higher. So looking at it now, the current price is higher than the preset price. So I am not going to activate the robot immediately. Rather, I am going to wait for this current price to come down to the preset price before I buy. And if you look at it, for it to come down to the preset price, just about 4 different 0.2730 is the preset price. The current price is 0.2734. So all I need to do is either I wait for the price to come down, I'm watching it for it to come down, and once it comes, I click on activate. But if I cannot wait for that, all I need to do is to make use of this initial buy-in price, where I am going to set up where I am going to put that preset price and program the robot. That is why we say you need to learn how to use this robot to your advantage. So once you click on this initial preset price, you can just come here and program 0.2730 and do confirm. Once you do confirm on this, I don't want it to pick this coin because it's not far. The current price is not far from the preset price. So let me put another figure that is far. Let's say 0.2600 that I confirm. Once I do this, now the next thing I'm going to do is to activate. I'll click on this activate and watch what is going to happen. So once I click on activate, it will bring up coming up create bot. You click on this create bot. Now once you click on this create bot, the robot will not buy your first buying amount immediately. Why? Because you have given it a command that robot, the only time you should buy is when this current price drops to this preset price. That is when you should pick my $15. So what you see, if you go back to the trade, click on strategy, you will see it here, and you will see that the robot have not triggered to pick the $15. In the position amount, you are not seeing any money because the robot is waiting to obey that your instruction. Now, this is the instruction down here. You see, start to trigger price is waiting for trigger to make first buy. So it's waiting for it to drop to this preset price that you have programmed for it to buy the first buy. So that is how. So anytime you see that your current price is way higher than your preset price, you don't activate immediately. Rather, you wait patiently for the price to come down to the preset price that was giving you on the signal, and you buy. Or if you cannot wait, maybe you are busy, you come here and set the price you want to buy and program it. Once the price drops to that preset price, the robot is going to pick it by itself. And once it picks it by itself, it continues buying for you. On default settings. That is how to buy whenever the current price is higher than the preset price. You either wait for the current price to come down before you activate, or you program the preset price. But in the other way, if the current price is way lower than the preset price, so let's assume that, so if you want to remove this, all you need to do, maybe the bot you have waited does not come and you want to close this trade, all you need to do is to click pause, click on OK, and ensure you remove this back again. Just tap on it and remove it so that when you want to trade it another time, to not carry that programming again. So that is that. But now, in case you find out that the current price is way lower than the preset price and you have put all your settings, all you need to do is to click on activate. Once you click on activate, click on create, it will pick the first $15. It will pick the first $15. So I'm not going to click on create here now because there's more money in the account. I don't want the robot to take it. So once you click on create, I'll use an existing trade to explain to you. Once it has picked that your $15, let's assume now we have seen the current price. The current price is way lower than the preset price. Then we enter at that current price and it has picked. So let's assume it was this coin and it has picked this coin. Let's see, as soon as it picks the coin, if it has not picked your $15, take note, if it has not picked your $15, it won't trigger, it won't allow you to do manual replenishment until it picks your $15 you're seeing here. That is when you can come down here to do your manual replenishment. So let's assume we want to do our manual replenishment. Now, first, please take note, when it picks your $15, sometimes people don't know at what price it picks it. Just come to this notepad here, see this notepad and check. you see the price that it picks your first $15. So let's assume that it has picked your first $15 when the price was 0.2730. That is when it picks your first $15. As soon as it picks your first $15, immediately you want to click on buy. As soon as you click on buy, you have taken note of this price, that this is when it picks your $15. Now, let's assume that the current price that at which it picked your $15 is now doing 0.2728, meaning that the price have dropped. Now, at this price, you want to force in money. So if you meet the current price at this point, all you need to do here is come down to this place. What it means is, once it has picked your $15 at this current price, and the price now dropped to 0.2782, at this point, you can do your manual replenishment. So this is now the new current price you are seeing. All you need to do is click on market price. Once you tap on this market price, it means that you are okay with this market price, that you want to do your manual replenishment at this market price, because you have seen that it is cheaper than the first $15 that it carried. So you are okay. So as soon as you click on market price, it means you are okay with the market price. Here you come here and inject your $48, then click on confirm, and the robot will pick it immediately. You now see your $48 plus your $15. That is how to do manual replenishment. But once it has picked your $15 at this price, and you are now seeing the price at 0.2735, when you click on buy, you are seeing the current price to be like this. You are seeing that the current price is higher than the price it bought that $15. So all you need to do at that point, you are not okay with the market price. So rather than you to wait for it to drop below this, you can come here, click on market price. You are not okay with the market price. Come here and set your own price that you are okay. So let's say maybe this is the price you are okay with, but it has not yet come out. So you set your own price 0.728. You set it and you put your $48 here and you click on program. Once you click on confirm, you have programmed that robot. You have given it a command. So the robot, anytime the current price, which is this current price, moves to this point, then come to this point, the robot will trigger and pick this $48 by itself. That is how to learn how to use these bots to your advantage. So that is how to do your manual replenishment. I hope this is clear. Because of time, we need to end this section. But it's the preset price you will impute here now, but you put the price that is lower than the preset price. I told you that I don't want it to pick the preset price, please. King Oyebuchi, you saw me when I was putting that 0.26600. I told you it is close. If you check the current price, it's closer to that preset price. I don't want it to pick my money. That's why I injected another price. Please take note of that. So it is the preset price you can put, or anything lower than it. So if this is clear, if you have gotten value from this section, I need the word value so that we can end this section and call it a day. Thank you everyone for exercising patience to be here. Do have a lovely day. In the absence of no more questions, I'm going to end this section. Welcome, King Ogbeni, King Abdulmajid. Welcome, you're welcome. So bye-bye, everybody. Do have a lovely day.